So I will transfer you my energy. I will transfer my karma. Here is my karma on you.
Yeah, brother.
Please record.
Boom. Boom. Cloud server. Connection complete.
We are connected to the cloud.
So I wanted to record because I wanted to get on tape and say congratulations on completing your class.
Thanks, man. Finally, I got, for those who don't know, I went back to school again. Not for even a master's, but another bachelor's, which the only reason I did is because I was clueless about the thing I was going into, which was cybersecurity. My first degree was in communication, which is kind of a joke.
That's like the go-to student athlete
Yeah.
like major.
So, and now I'm kind of in the IT world. So I figured it'd be helpful for me to get future jobs if I actually had a degree. And now that I know a little bit, I'm going to start, getting, going for like different certifications each, maybe like 3 months or twice a year or something.
Big goals. Ambitious. No time like the present.
So it's exciting. Now I have way less responsibilities, which is just super cool.
So what are you going to do with your free time?
Well, I got this little thing.
What the fuck is that?
It's called the Magic Back
Magic
Support.
Back Support. It kind of looks like it's got like grips on the side. It's an arch. And
Yeah.
It has a gel pad in the middle.
Yeah, it's like a yoga mat kind of pad in the middle. I don't know why the spikes are on the outside. I guess
Weird.
I think it's so you don't. I think it's so if you go too hard, it hurts you. So they don't want you to bend.
So it's essentially like you're pushing back in your chair to crack your back. Have you ever done that?
Yeah, so I think it's supposed to just kind of prevent you from
Slouching?
going too far back. But I slouch so much because I sit on a couch all day right now because I don't have like an office.
Yeah.
But so I'm trying to work on my posture.
Nice. Just trying to get all around healthy.
Yep. So tomorrow I'm gonna start like working out again.
What's going on with cycling?
I did it the last 2 days, so
What's that?
it was okay. The first day was a little rough on my knee, but the second day I wore that little copper fit thing on my knee. Didn't feel it at all. So I think just having that extra stability, I think is awesome.
Yeah.
I might buy like 2 more.
Really? How much are they?
$15 or something like that.
Okay. Ah, shit. I wanted to do announcements before we started talking about all this stuff, but I got too excited about your graduation.
Well, that's an announcement, and I just announced my my posture machine. And
yeah. But mainly just continue to subscribe and share all of our stuff. The more stuff you share, the more likely people are to subscribe. And when they do that, they get more, sorry, my puppy just ran in. But they get more attention, essentially.
I'm gonna start doing more videos. I think I'm just gonna start shooting like everything.
There you go, man.
Post it and start putting it on Facebook, stuff like that.
Nice. I like making videos. I made that one video the other day.
Oh, the weed flute. Or the weed clarinet.
The weed clarinet. Yeah, that was cool. Dab Talk episode 1. But yeah, share and subscribe, and then something else. But it'll come to me. Episode 21. Is that? No, never mind. I was gonna say, is that half a year? It's like, no, it's not even close. Like 6 more weeks. No, 5 more weeks. I guess it depending on if you count this week or not.
I can't add or subtract or divide, so Actually, have you ever heard of the 24 game?
No.
So it's essentially a card game where you put a card down, right? It has 4 numbers, and you try to level 1 is add, subtract, multiply, and divide the 4 numbers to get 24. Wait,
What?
yeah, 24. So let's say you have a 6, a 2, and a 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
How would
you can multiply, add, or subtract. You can to get 24.
Yeah.
And that's like I can pick any numbers, and that would.
You have to use all 4.
And what's the range again? Like the range of numbers, like 1 to 9, or like 0 to 9.
Yeah. So it's either 0. Yeah, 0 to 9. Oh wait, actually.
So what if I get like?
No. I think there's more.
Like 4 ones.
Yeah, but so essentially how it works is there's three different levels of difficulty. So there's 1 point, 2 point, and 3 point. So obviously the 3 points are harder.
But I don't understand how it works. You just pick random numbers, and then they're supposed to add up to 24. You just decide what the symbol is between each one of them.
Yeah. So here I put a card down, and let's just say it's 7. Let's just say there's 4 numbers. So it's like 7, 7.
Okay, let's just say all ones.
You can't do it. You can't.
Why not?
It's not possible.
What do you mean? It could be. It has to be between. It only can be one of the digits, 0 through 9.
Well, you get 4 numbers.
So, but it can't be any duplicates.
No, it can. The card just has the numbers on it already.
Oh, okay.
So the card will come down, and let's just say it's 8844. So you have to okay, so I can't even think of that in my head. Here,
this is a game.
4 plus.
This isn't like a. I was thinking that this was like some kind of like science trick mathematician.
Nope.
Thing, but this
no,
is a game. This is a literally.
No, so you could. Yes, you literally.
By humans.
Yeah.
This is so less interesting than I thought it was going to be. This is okay. What?
So I'm a big nerd. So I think it started in elementary school, and there's 3 years, and every year it's different. The first year it's just multiplication, subtraction. The next year you can use like square roots and stuff like that, and then.
This is great stuff.
Well, I came in.
Please continue to talk about this.
I came runner-up 3 years in a row.
I thought you hated math.
No, I like math.
You're just not good at it? But
I'm really good at it. No, I'm really good at math.
I swear to God, I'm going to listen to this back.
I was making a joke about not being able to
making jokes.
All right, let's just start over. This is a bad start.
He was like, I don't like calculating.
You said you don't like adding and math. You don't like adding, subtracting.
I was being facetious.
Okay. Oh, okay.
But that was a bad joke. So.
Yeah, man, I can't. It's hard to come back from that. It's so bad, to be honest.
Episode 21.
Yeah. Episode 21, lightning and solar nebular theory. Let's get into it. So, who's going first? You decide because you graduated.
I'll go first. I liked my topic, which.
Cool.
So the only thing I saw was the nebular theory. So I'm assuming that's like the same thing.
Yeah, I think it's this one and the same.
So the nebular theory is essentially like how, different galaxies and solar systems kind of form. So let's get into it. So I'm going to use our solar system as like an example so people can kind of get an idea. Yeah.
Familiar.
So if you guys aren't familiar with our solar system, we have like the sun, and then we have Mercury all the way to Pluto, even though I don't know if Pluto's a planet or not.
Asterix.
Because
Slap that asterisk on that Pluto ass.
well, didn't they just come out again like this year and say it's a planet again?
I feel like, well, wasn't it? It was a planet, and then they decided it was a dwarf planet, and then now can we get a confirmation whether Pluto is a planet?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, they're just confusing me now. I think they're just trying to get clicks.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Did you see that Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and Jeff Bezos' Twitter accounts got hacked? Like maybe like
No.
well, it's happened like maybe like an hour ago. But they promoted some. It was a tweet promoting some Bitcoin. Like, oh, you should like I want to help out the tweet said something about I want to help out the community. Like buy this Bitcoin or some shit. It's like fuck. It's hilarious.
Damn.
That's kind of scary because I'm like, holy shit! If they can, like, I know it's just a Twitter account, but those are fucking like powerful people. Like,
Yeah.
come on, like, and all at the same time, they're just like, you know what? Fuck that.
Or is it a conspiracy, man?
Oh, maybe, yeah. Maybe we should buy some of this Bitcoin.
Is it Bitcoin or is it called something else?
Yeah, it's called something. It's Bitcoin technology. It's crypto.
Cryptocurrency.
Yeah. Boom, boom. All right.
Maybe I will. But okay, back to the nebular theory. So, if you believe in the Big Bang, which you probably should because the science is pretty good about explaining how the Big Bang occurred. I won't get into that. But essentially the Big Bang started and all of the universe kind of started, right? So it shot everything out. And so the universe right now is expanding everywhere. So what happens is space is obviously just, there's so much space and there's so many different little particles of, there's gas, there's spinning clouds of gas and dust, which include hydrogen, helium, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon mostly. And then, everything on the periodic table essentially. And it's just kind of sitting out there in space. Well, eventually you get these huge clouds of dust. And with gravity, since there's no friction in space, gravity, any two particles that come into contact with each other or get close enough to their gravitational force will start getting closer together until they either collide or stick together. So what happens is all these particles get close together and gravity pulls them in and it gets denser and there's more mass. And what happens is when these particles collide, they start to spin. So there's a video that, if you guys haven't seen it, it's awesome. It's this professor at some school. He takes like a bed sheet or something and makes it and tightens it around everywhere. And then he puts a weight in the middle and he gets a bunch of marbles and he just kind of throws them onto the sheet. And what happens is they collide. And when they collide, they start moving and they start spinning. And that's why our planets right now, they all spin kind of in the counterclockwise position because that's just what happens when they collide. It starts to go and they start spinning for the most part in a counterclockwise position, which is pretty awesome. So we still got this huge cloud of all this dust and particles and stuff. And then eventually you get this huge, hot, dense, spinning disk. And what happens is it goes, there, so much mass gets accumulated and it starts spinning so fast that it gets so hot and then nuclear fusion happens. So when this happens, a star is created. So this is how our sun was created. A lot of mass got together because of gravity, started spinning real fast, got hot, and then the sun was created. So what happens when the sun gets created?
Mass getting together. I'm with you. Nuclear fusion must be a fun word to use when you're describing something. That'd be cool.
And if we could harness fusion, we would have like infinite energy we could use on Earth. We don't have that technology yet, pending people. But what happens is once the sun gets created, it kind of like an explosion happens. And when this happens, all the light gas that's kind of close to the sun or in like the near regions gets pushed out. So it gets blown away until it kind of just lingers out in space. What happens is that's just the light gas. The heavier rock elements, like the metals, still stay close to the sun. So same thing as the sun. Those particles, those rocks, gravity occurs and they start hitting each other. And the rocks start bashing into each other and they start spinning. And then that's how planets occur over a long period of time. Yeah. So that's why the Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars are like rocky planets, because those elements didn't get blown away when the sun was created. And that's why Jupiter and Saturn are a lot bigger, is because when the sun pushed all those elements away, it pushed them all into like kind of one area. So it could just gather all of these gases. And that's why they got so huge, because there was a lot more of it there.
Yeah, they also said that Neptune and Uranus had to have been much, much closer to the sun when they were formed, because there was no way that wouldn't have been enough time in the world. Like, there hasn't been enough time passed for them to form at that mass that far away from the sun.
I didn't hear that one, but that makes sense. I mean, because Jupiter and Saturn took most of the material.
Right. And as the universe is expanding, it's just another point to prove that, because the universe is so old that Uranus and Neptune and Saturn and Jupiter, they were all probably just so much closer together when all of this happened. And due to their mass and how heavy the planet is, I would assume keeps them closer to the sun as far as their orbit, how far they can float.
The one cool thing that the whole spinning thing, because I never knew that until I think I was in college, why all the planets kind of spin in like the counterclockwise position. Now it's 3D, so some of them are like angled differently,
right?
And they have, so one might be like, let's just say one's going completely around in a circle, another one might be more angled.
Uh-huh.
So, but they're all going the same direction, and this is what occurs in the majority of solar systems, which is really cool. And it's all because of our friend gravity.
Oh, gravity.
So essentially, gravity just attracts things together.
I thought there wasn't gravity in space.
No, gravity, if there's mass, there's gravity. So if anything that has a mass, so if you would go into space right now, you would have gravity. You would attract things.
Why?
You're just, because you have mass. You're made of.
But then why do people just float off into space? Why wouldn't I be? What if like an astronaut fell out of the spaceship? Why is he gone forever instead of coming back to the planet, the mass?
Well, it depends. So if you're close enough to Earth, Earth will actually pull you down, and you will get burned and crushed to death. I think burned to death. I don't think crushed, but burned to. That's why most shooting stars is actually like astronaut poop or little tiny rocks in space.
What did you say about a balloon?
So it's the gravitational pull. So it's the object's mass is smaller than everything else. So it's your gravity is pulling against each other. So like a balloon floats
Yeah.
away, right?
There's
Because
nothing in
the
it.
gas inside of it weighs less than the air.
But in space, there's
If you have mass, you have space. But since it's in a vacuum, there's no friction or anything. So if you throw two rocks into space, if they're close enough together, depending on the size of the rocks, they have a gravitational pull.
talking about magnets.
Nope. Just mass. So here's a good example. I'm going to do a 2D thing. Let's say you have a bed sheet and you spread it out, right? You put two marbles on it. If the marbles are too light, they're never gonna come close to each other. If they're heavy, it's gonna push down the bed sheet, and then they're gonna get trapped.
Space like the bed sheet? Because I thought space is just space, just empty.
Well, I was just doing a 2D model. But it's the same principle essentially in the 3D world.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So like you get a bed sheet, you take
no, the bed sheet.
Got lost.
The bed sheet doesn't make any sense because space isn't a bed sheet. There is nothing.
Well, I was just trying to give an example because it works the same.
Oh, what does that mean? It works the same. Are you saying that it's a bad example, but then you just say it works the same?
No, it's a great example
of space.
Yes,
But
it's
how?
a great representation.
Space is just space. There's nothing in there. So there's nothing to the marbles. If they fall at the same time on the bed sheet, they would be attracted to each other because they're hitting this bed sheet.
Yes.
The bed sheet is an element that's in the scenario. In space, there is no space. I mean, there's not bed sheet. There's no space. The things.
But think of the
they
bed
don't really
sheet.
fall either. The marbles wouldn't fall. The marbles would just float there. They would just be there.
I wish I could show you an example.
Okay, so
I mean, I'm just saying, man. Like, I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense why things.
so space has some gravity, but it's very, very minimal.
So, like, over the course of millions of years, float together.
Yeah, so let's say, the Big Bang, right, pushed everything out. So everything is moving. Nothing's like just stationary.
Right.
So
expanded.
if a rock comes in close contact with a rock, depending on how big it is, it will eventually get in its gravitational pull. So everything that has mass has a gravitational pull. So like I said, you could go out into space, and if little dust particles get close to you, those dust particles will get attracted to you.
And like start floating around me.
Yep. Or it will stick to you depending on if you stay still and go, depending on the motion of it, it could catch into your orbit, or it could just stick to you.
And I thought you said earlier that there was no friction in space.
Until the two things touch. So if it's just moving in space, there's no friction
between the two things when you touch. Okay, that makes sense.
Huh? Yeah. So until they touch, there's no friction.
Right. Yeah.
The next time I come over, I kind of want to do the thing, the bed sheet thing. It's so cool.
Honestly, it doesn't sound that cool.
It's so cool.
Why don't you do it? You videotape it. You send it to me.
I'll just send you the videotape that's already out there.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. Lightning. Boom, boom. I'm going to give you the official definition of lightning because I feel like that's the right thing to do. But lightning is naturally occurring electrostatic discharge. And during the time that this discharge is happening, two electrically charged regions in the atmosphere temporarily equalize themselves, causing the instantaneous release of as much as 1 gigajoule of energy. And a gigajoule is just another measurement of natural gas or electricity, like a gigawatt or like a kilogram or something. But that is what lightning is. And a few fun facts: lightning strikes about 50 to 100 times a second all over the world. It's mostly located in Central Africa, the Himalayas, South America, and it is pure electricity. And some scientists don't really actually agree on the cause of lightning, but the most widely accepted version, or the one that I think makes the most sense, is essentially you have an updraft and strong winds. And the updraft will take these positive
Ions?
charges, and it will float up into a cloud. And a cloud is divided by positive and negative charges as well. And the positive charges, therefore being more so hot air, rise to the top of the cloud, and the low, colder air, the negative charges, are the bottom of the cloud. And when those two charges connect, they create electro shock. So a lot of lightning occurs in the cloud. It's called intra-cloud lightning. But it's only when you have an updraft of wind taking that hot air from the ground up into strong, high winds that have a lot of cold air in them is where you get the connection from, or the electromagnetic connection from the different charges. And it's actually interesting because lightning doesn't strike down. It's when the hot air or the positive charge reaches the cold air. So it's usually from the ground up. So once the charge from the ground reaches the negative charge in the cloud, it sends an electromagnetic current back down to the ground. So essentially, it's not striking down. It's just like bursting through that connection from the ground to the cloud. And it happens instantaneously, but every time lightning strikes, there's like 4 or 5 other strikes like around it. So if you take like still frames, it'll look like one strike in your real life perception, but when you take pictures of it or break it down frame by frame, there's like 5 or 6 different strikes all around it, which is pretty cool.
The one thing I saw was, because I always wondered why lightning kind of went in like jagged different directions, and I learned that it's the fastest, I don't know how to explain it, it's like the fastest way from point A to point B. It's not a straight line. I forget what it's like, connecting different like molecules or something, but that's like the fastest path. If you think about it in technology, when you're trying to connect to like a Google server, it goes through different routers. Well, sometimes depending on like the speed of the router, going through 5 different routers might be better than going through 2.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like lightning.
Yep. Yeah, just the relative size of the charge. Makes sense.
Lightning's so cool.
Lightning is cool. It actually, some other fun facts, because there's really not that much else to say about lightning, but it kills over 100 people a year, which is more than hurricanes and tornadoes. That's in the U.S. And the Empire State Building gets struck by lightning around 23 times a year.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So there was a myth. So have you heard the thing where, hey, if you're ever stuck out in a storm, just go in your car because you're going to be safe because of the rubber tires? A car can still get struck by lightning. However, what happens is when it gets struck, typically the energy will get transferred to the ground and not you. So that's why you're more safe. But it can still hit a car. You're just more safe because.
Well, yeah, I mean the car's made of metal.
Did you see that video?
There's a lot of things that they debunked. They said that rubber shoes doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Under a tree doesn't matter. What was the other thing? What's the other myth? I don't know, like.
Oh, it's being when you say a tree, you mean being the like lowest point. In
Yeah,
the
being like
field or
next.
whatever.
Yeah, lowest point in the field. Yeah.
There's that one video where the guy got struck by lightning twice in like a matter of like 5 minutes, which is just, the odds of that are so slim.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, I mean, if it happened at the same time, I mean, I don't know if they're that slim because there's not just one strike. It's like a whole bunch of different ones.
Yeah.
You just had bad luck.
So, that sucks.
Yeah.
So bad. And then there's pictures. I've seen pictures of people who have been struck by lightning, and you can see like in their back. It's
like
so,
the veins.
Yeah, because that's where the lightning went through their body to go to the ground. Because you're always grounded, so that's what happens. Because it'll hit you, but it'll keep going until it hits the ground.
Yeah.
And then let's say it strikes your shoulder, right? Well, it's going to go the fastest point through your body down to your feet.
Well, it's really just you're in the way.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not that it hits you. It's attracted to you at all. It's just that the connection between the positive charge and the negative charge happens to go through your body. So technically it's your fault every time you get hit by lightning.
But if you get hit, but it's not like it's going to hit you and then all of a sudden like go somewhere. It's going to hit you and go straight down your body. And oh my gosh, it's just crazy seeing the people because it's so cool.
It is crazy. I mean, I wonder if that's why people don't really. I don't know. I was about to say, I wonder if that's why people don't die from it, because it like goes through the body, because it doesn't. The lightning itself isn't hot. It's just electricity, but can generate up to like 50, whatever the measurement for heat is. What is it no, it's like 50,000
joules.
Like Kelvin?
No, that's for natural gas and electricity. It's 50,000 something else. I said joules earlier. It's not joules. I know what a joule is.
A joule is a diamond.
Gas is measured in grams or kilograms.
Kilograms. Okay, so it's like 50,000 kilograms of heat, which is crazy. But it's like, okay, well, if it generates that much, then why don't people die every time they get hit? But I guess it doesn't.
Maybe it's so fast that it doesn't have time. I don't know.
Maybe it only causes the heat if it strikes something that it needs to.
Wait, we're going to go back to the units that you're using. Yeah. Heat is measured in joules.
I think it maybe just energy is measured in joules, because they also said you can measure oil and natural gas and electricity. So I think it's just energy.
Okay. Have you ever seen when people they'll take
time to figure that out? Guys
yeah. Have you ever seen when people take a piece of wood and they have like one electric charge on the bottom and they have something on the top and like it'll burn through the wood?
Nope.
Looks
pretty cool. Sounds pretty cool.
It's awesome. I'm just gonna next time I come over, I'm gonna have a list, or I'm just gonna send them to you. You watch them at your own leisure.
Cool. All right, let's do some random facts. Oh, before we do that, I do want to give a shout out to JoJo and wish her good luck. She's going to be taking one of her architecture exams this upcoming Monday, and we just want to wish her a good exam.
Thank you.
Good luck. I didn't even know, what does that entail? I'm curious because I've never heard of that.
It's a 6-part test. So this is number 2, and it's on different topics. Yep. Case is pretty much how I feel most of the time.
6 parts?
Yeah.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah, they're all on different topics.
What's this topic?
This one's project management.
Oh, okay.
Yep. The last one was practice management.
All right.
Thrilling.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
You'll do great.
Thank you.
We love you, JoJo. All right, let's fucking rock with these random facts. I'm fired up. I think the loser of this random facts has to. I don't know. Let me think about it.
Okay. So who wants to go first?
Here we go. I've been losing.
Wait.
Right? Rock.
Game one.
All right.
Scissors cuts rock. Scissors cuts paper. Fire
All
this
right,
shit up.
Shane. Okay. The beaver is the national emblem of which country?
Canada.
Correct.
Softball.
Woohoo! Fucking beaver.
Beaver. Remember that show, or Angry Beavers?
Yeah.
That shit was cool. Where's that show? That's got to be on like Netflix or Amazon or something.
My favorite episode is when they stopped chewing on wood and their teeth got like super long and they started like curling. I'm like, that's gross. But
You know, can you picture that in your brain? That's exactly what a picture of the person with the longest fingernails looks like.
oh, they're so gross. Can we pause real quick? So remember when we were talking about teeth and like wisdom teeth?
Yeah.
So I figured out another reason why our teeth are kind of crooked. So apparently humans' faces over the years have gotten smaller, the jaws have gotten smaller because we used to chew on food for like 4 hours every single day, so our faces were wider. And we used to breathe out of our
Why
nose.
would we do that?
Yeah. I don't know
Well,
we had that.
hunter gatherers and stuff would.
Oh, okay. So, it was
So
like,
and also
Instant eating, yeah. Like,
also back then people would primarily breathe through their nose, and if you breathe through your nose, your face actually becomes wider as well.
interesting.
that's
yeah.
kind of cool. That makes sense though.
Yeah.
Because you're using your nasal passages more.
Mm-hmm. Like I was listening to the Rogan podcast, and some guy came on and explained all this. I was like, oh wow, that makes so much sense. So that's why I guess people get their wisdom teeth out now, because there's not enough space. And what they're doing now is when you're a kid, they're making a device to widen your jaw so your teeth can fit.
Like that.
I had that. I had to crank it. I had to crank.
What, to make my jaw bigger?
Yeah, wider. Yep. I had that. I had to use a crank every single like day.
My cousin had that. Yeah, it hurt a lot apparently.
Like that, yeah. Why do they have to make the mouths bigger? Why can't they just let people be the way that they're supposed to be?
I think for him, his teeth couldn't grow in. Is that what you had too? Your teeth couldn't grow in properly?
Yeah, apparently my jaw was too thin, so they put it on, and then every single day I had to crank it, and it would be like.
And you think that's like but do you think that that's like a normal thing that's happening to a lot of people? You think that the humans? I've never heard of that.
Well, it's also like underbites and overbites too. Those have to be adjusted. I had an underbite.
I guess so. But isn't that teeth? I thought we were talking about the jaw. When I think of jaw, I think of like mandible and like my jaw line. Are you talking about like the muscle, or are you talking about like, because like I feel like you're talking about just moving teeth around, and that's not the jaw to me. Those are teeth.
No, it's the actual jaw, because what he said too is if you take a skull from people like a couple hundred.
Are these two different things, or are we talking about the same thing?
Same thing.
Okay.
So it's all connected?
So you had to get your jaw widened?
Yep. So my teeth could fit.
It's crazy.
I know.
That's funny. I mean, that sucks, but how does that? It's weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
I just wanted to tell you that because we talked. What was that? Was that 2 episodes ago?
What?
When we talked about wisdom teeth.
I don't know. I feel like we talk about wisdom teeth maybe like every other episode.
True.
All right, my turn. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
According to the legend, what was the name of King Arthur's magician advisor?
Merlin.
Yep. Shane, what is the irrational fear of lightning called?
irrational fear of lightning.
Uh-huh.
It's probably some scientific name. I have no clue.
You want to try a guess?
No, I don't know.
It's Caranophobia.
Yeah. Okay.
Arachnophobia. Duh.
How did I forget? How did I not know that one?
Yeah.
The only one I know is like arachnophobia.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
funny. There's a phobia for everything.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah.
And how are and how are you supposed to know all of that? Like what? I bet there's somebody who has to like memorize phobias.
Yeah.
And there's a phobia for literally everything. You have to learn another word for every single thing on the planet. That's so
But it's probably its own dictionary.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Phobia
And
dictionary.
then there's a phobia of that phobia. Phobia of the dictionary of phobia.
Yeah. All right,
Stupid.
John.
Yeah.
How far? Oh wait, not that one. The hottest place in the universe is located in which constellation?
Which constellation?
Constellation.
Oh, fuck. I don't even know that many constellations. Is there like one that's like Apollo?
I think so, but that's not this
That's
one.
not it.
Shane, do you want to guess?
The Omega Nebula.
No, it's Virgo.
Mm.
The temperature there reaches 300 million degrees Celsius.
300 million degrees.
Is that nuts?
Had no idea.
Okay. Shane, in which wing of the White House is the Oval Office located?
West Wing.
Yes, it is.
Woo-hoo!
The acronym AKA, what does the K stand for?
Gnome.
Yes. Shane, what is a baby kangaroo called?
Joey.
It is Joey.
Nice. What's a baby pup called? Oh, Max.
John,
Yeah.
what is the first name of Pinocchio's cricket friend in the Disney cartoon movie?
Fuck. Is it Jiminy?
Yeah! All right. Shane, name the planets in order of distance from the sun.
Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto.
Yeah.
Nice.
Woohoo!
You want to know the answer to this. All right. So, true or false? Lightning never strikes twice.
False.
Correct. But you know what's cool?
What?
I don't think you said this when you were talking, but I don't know. Technically, lightning, when it strikes, it reverberates.
Mhm.
So it's really quickly striking one place multiple times. Did you
Yeah,
say
that's
that? Oh, sorry. It was so cool fun fact.
I know, so I said it.
All right. Back to it. Shane, what term is used to describe food that has been prepared according to Jewish dietary laws?
Kosher.
Yes.
Dude, we're doing so much better this time than the last one.
Oh, Shaw, sometimes you gotta have your downs so you can get more of your ups.
How old is the universe? In years.
Infinity years.
No. Do you want to steal?
So there's actually two answers that I found out.
Okay, well, you gotta choose.
Yeah. I've got a right answer here on my
Yeah.
page.
If yours says, so yours might say 14 billion,
It's not.
Oh,
then it probably says 9.
It doesn't say that either.
boom.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, I guess it's close to 14.
What is it?
Give or take a billion. 13.8.
Oh, you little, you little.
You're so such an asshole. But he deserves that. His headband right now.
Yeah. It's much better than the bowl cut.
Bowl cut was solid that one time.
That was so mean.
His face was so upset.
Wait, can you tell me about the 9 though? Why do people think it's 9?
Why is there such a big difference?
So, since everything has gravity, so here we go, space. Space, obviously, everything in space it's a vacuum, right?
Yeah.
So, if after the Big Bang, everything goes out, right? So, if there was no gravity, then they think it's 14. However, they think that because everything has gravity, they think it actually might have gone slower and would started to turn. So the time frame is actually,
So
I think, might be less.
Not everything has gravity?
No, everything has gravity.
What's the difference? Say that again, then.
So
What's the difference? Yeah.
this professor from Harvard, he came up with an equation like 20 years ago, and he figured out the universe was around 14 billion years old. However, research came out saying, well, did you account gravity for this? And he didn't. So he, in a straight line where there is no gravity, it would have been the calculation.
You're talking like he figured it out for real. You're saying that there's a discrepancy between 14 and 9.
Yep.
So 9. So the answer should be 9.
Yeah. So if there's should be 9 if everything has gravity in space.
Well, they don't know for sure, but that's what they think.
Fuck?
It's difficult science. It's a difficult equation.
Yeah, but you were saying that you were so confident earlier when you were saying that.
I know. I'm telling you. I don't know how to explain it, but.
Wait, I have a question. So the universe isn't the universe until the planets are where they are.
What?
So like when it exploded and the planets landed there, that's when the universe becomes the universe.
No, the universe started as soon as the Big Bang happened.
Yeah.
However, everything in the universe is going away.
The universe is different from when it started because it's constantly expanding.
Right.
So when it started, it's not in the same place.
Right.
So let's say you had a balloon filled with powder.
The universe started when everything was in the place that it is. And that's not true because now everything's a lot further spread out because.
Yeah.
I'm confused about this mass and gravity thing.
Well, that's what I was trying to get at.
If you have mass, you have gravity.
Okay, but then why is there a discrepancy between there's a 5 billion year discrepancy between the start of the universe and the.
Because since everything has gravity, they don't know exactly the force at which things move away. So let's say
9 and 14. Got it.
Yes.
Some people just use ranges. Like, why do we have to be so specific when we don't really know? It's all to sell ads, probably.
Yeah.
All right, who's up?
You are. No.
I think you stole.
I stole. So I'm up. 13.8. Oh, man.
That's funny. All right, next question.
So I already asked that one. According to Greek mythology, who was the first woman on Earth? I already asked this one before. Can I go to the next one?
Yeah.
Okay. How many letters are there in the German alphabet?
24.
No. Do you want to try to steal?
37.
Closer. Well, equal? 30 is the answer.
I thought you were about to say equal. 37. Fuck you.
24.5. What just happened?
Oh, man.
Max stole Minji's bone.
Minji's grumpy.
Minji's grumpy. She went on 4 walks today.
Yeah.
And it's grumpy pants. Anyways.
Jojo, you jumped so fast there. It was so funny.
That was so scary. It was loud.
Minji's like asleep, and then all of a sudden
Yeah. Okay, what is the most commonly diagnosed cancer in men?
Is it my turn?
It's Shane.
Oh,
No.
yeah. So you went.
Oh no, you stole.
No. Yeah.
I mean, you
stole.
didn't steal it because
I
you.
didn't know it. Yeah,
Right,
So
so
it's
it's
my
your
turn.
turn.
Prostate.
Yes.
We love men's prostate at Question Talk. Get your prostate checked out. Shane's nodding his head. Forget sometimes that this is a podcast.
Yep, you're right. Maybe I'll start inserting Shane is nodding his head.
Yeah. Just make like
Max.
have like a button that you press every time. Ding. Shane agrees. Ding ding. Shane disagrees. Ding ding. Okay.
All right.
Shane does not agree to that statement.
Hey.
We're gonna take those away from you.
Okay.
So Shane, what does the H stand for in the medical abbreviation ADHD?
I think we already have this.
I don't think so.
No.
It's
Just trying to get a new question.
no, because I'm pretty sure we had it, but it's not hyperactive. I think it's hyperactivity.
Oh, it is, and you're correct. We did because we had this conversation about hyperactive and hyperactivity. So you are correct.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Okay.
Such a douchebag. He just winked at the camera.
Did he?
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
I definitely just did that. I apologize.
You should. You honestly should. Your headband, so douchey.
All right,
Hey.
John.
I'm getting my hair cut tomorrow.
I need to get my haircut too.
It's ridiculous. I don't even know what this is.
Yeah, that looks.
Ooh, look at this. I'm Sailor Moon.
All right, whose turn? Shane's turn?
No, it's you.
My turn, okay.
Which two planets have no moons at all?
Mercury and Venus?
Yes.
Is it
Good job.
I don't know. Yeah,
Thanks.
sure. What? Oh. Okay. What is the Latin word for seasickness, now commonly used to describe any feeling of sickness?
The Latin term for seasickness?
Yes. Now commonly used to describe any feeling of sickness.
Nausea? I don't know.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, I was just thinking of
another wink.
Yeah, you deserve it.
I was thinking of that nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach,
Diarrhea.
Pepto-Bismol.
All right. The Statue of Liberty was given to the U.S. by which country?
France.
Cool. On which planet is the biggest volcano?
Oh, that would be Jupiter.
Incorrect. Would you like to
Oh.
know?
Yeah.
That's a hurricane, not a volcano.
Oh, yeah.
Shit. I know it now.
Saturn?
Mhm.
No, Saturn.
It's Mars. Right.
It is Mars. Mars has the biggest volcano that is 374 miles across and 16 miles high, which is triple the height of Mount Everest and comparable in size to Arizona.
Holy shit. I think we don't hear more about that.
I don't
Why
know.
do we want to go to Mars so bad? Giant volcano.
Well, I guess it could be like a what are those called? Yeah.
It's just.
Yeah, I don't think it's active.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't think so?
Because Mars used to be Mars used to have water on it.
After I said it. All of a sudden we had the conversation and you want to say it. yeah, I don't think it's active. Oh, really?
Shane is smiling.
Oh man! All right, what time we got? All right, let's do 5 more. Well, let's make them fire them off. It's gonna be,
Faster?
I don't know, just a little bit quicker. Let's cut the chit chat a little bit.
Your guys chit chat.
I know. I'm talking to myself too.
All right.
Setting the plan.
Who's up?
Whoever you want to be.
Shane, I think you're up.
No, John's up.
Oh, because he's counting.
Yeah, that's right.
Who was U.S. president during World War I?
Shit, that's a good one. I should really know that. I feel like.
And
Eisenhower.
no. Would you like to steal?
Is it Wilson?
Yes.
Ooh, Woodrow Wilson.
Shane, what are the odds of being struck by lightning in your lifetime?
Oh, John even said it, didn't you? 1 in 100 million.
Incorrect.
I didn't say it.
Mm-mm.
Oh, I thought you did.
I don't know, like 1 in 7.
1 in 3,000.
What?
You think
That's crazy.
low?
That's crazy.
Think that's too often?
Yeah, I don't. Well, I just don't know anybody who's ever been struck by lightning.
Me either.
Big planet.
I don't know 3,000 people though.
Yeah. I have been asked 3,000 people if they've been struck by lightning too, so.
I guess you're right.
Every person you see on the street, you have to ask.
Have you been struck by lightning?
Excuse me, have you been struck by lightning? Excuse me, have you been struck by lightning?
I'm doing a survey.
Yeah.
I'm doing a census of lightning strikes.
Yeah, it would be so frustrating too because most people probably wouldn't even respond to you. So
Yeah,
you'd have to ask probably like 15,000 people to get 3,000 to respond.
And then you got those douches that'll probably just be like, "Oh yeah, definitely 8 times."
Yeah. So whether the information's accurate or not, it's all BS. Okay, I'm up.
All right, you're up. In which movie features the song "Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead"?
Does that have to be like the official? Like, isn't it? What is that name? What's the name of that? The Wicked Witch of the West? Dorothy and the.
Yeah, that's it.
What is it called? What is it called? Dorothy versus the Wicked, the Lion, the Witch, and the the Corn Man, and the Straw Man.
Who else is in it? Name another character. Where
Toto.
do they go?
To Oklahoma.
John, I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a hint.
Dude, I'm blanking on
Where do they
this
go?
W.
Where does Dorothy go?
To the I have no idea. To Walmart. What is
Yeah,
that?
there's Walmart in the land of.
Hey, I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a hint.
What?
Chris
Chris
Oslin.
Chris Oslin.
The land of.
Oz.
Oz.
Wizard of
Oz.
There we go.
There we go.
We all get a point for that one. You're so close.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
The Lion, the Witch, the Wardrobe.
That was like panic.
Yeah, I was trying to describe the characters, but I couldn't picture them.
In which 1979 film was the spaceship called Nostromo? Nostromo.
Hold up. What'd you say?
In which 1979 film was the spaceship called Nostromo?
Nostromo.
I can spell it in case I'm saying it wrong.
Like,
Yeah, spell it.
Nostromo. Nostromo.
I don't know, yeah.
It's not.
For a year.
It's not Star Trek.
In 1979.
It's not anything Star Wars. I got nothing.
Do you want to try?
Yeah. I don't know, like Space Odyssey?
Mm-mm.
Alien.
Alien?
Yeah.
That was my fuck.
Yeah. Should have won.
Fuck.
I forgot.
Literally, I thought of it like right after. Fuck.
It came out in 1979.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't
Holy
it?
shit.
All right. Who directed the Lord of the Rings trilogy?
Peter Jackson.
Yeah. Shane, in the Star Wars movies, which moon is home to the Ewoks?
So pretty, guys.
They're so cute.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Oh my gosh. Is this? It's not Tatooine. It's.
Are you gonna name all the planets in Star Wars?
I'm the one drawing the blank now.
It's a little bit harder.
Yeah. The only hint I can give you is it starts with the same letter.
As Tatooine.
No.
As the Wizard of Oz.
No.
As what?
As Ewok.
Ewok.
Endor.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah. Endor.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ooh.
All right, we'll do two more.
I won't take it. She gave me the hint.
All right. In the 2014 movie, The Theory of Everything details the life of which British scientist?
Say it again.
In the 2014 movie, The Theory of Everything details the life of which British scientist?
British scientist. I have no idea. Albert Einstein.
Mm-mm. You want to try to steal? No.
I only have one guess, but I don't think it's right.
What is it?
Is it Hawking?
Yes. Why don't you just
How do you
guess?
guess? Yeah, you don't lose points.
I'm self-conscious.
It's so annoying. You're smart.
But you're following
Yeah,
up
you
someone
know.
that said, I don't know.
Yeah. I said Albert Einstein. It's
Oh,
clearly
that's a good guess.
Einstein, not a British
Anyway,
scientist.
it was Stephen Hawking.
Nice. R.I.P.
R.I.P. All right, Shane, last question. Ready? Which actor plays the role of Professor Charles Xavier in the X-Men film series?
Oh. I didn't know this.
What is his name? He was in Star Trek. He was the captain. What is his name?
Get that bone.
Say it one more time, and then so I can just.
Okay. Which actor played the role of Professor Charles Xavier in the X-Men film series?
I'm gonna just pass, but this is gonna kill me.
Okay. Do you have a guess?
Do I?
Yeah.
Sir Ian McKellen.
No.
No, that's
Oh,
Magneto.
Ian.
That's Magneto.
Yeah. Do you have a second guess? No.
What's the initial?
Oh, P, the first name,
All right, just tell us.
Patrick.
Patrick.
It's not fun when you get all the guesses, all the hints.
We guys were already.
Yeah.
You guys
Well,
were.
we gave up.
Yeah, he was on round 2 of guessing.
Yeah.
All
That was a good one though.
No,
Sir,
I'm waiting for you guys to be done with this question. Are you guys done with the fucking question? Okay.
Yeah,
we're
we're done with the question.
All right. Well, episode 21 in the books. Share and subscribe all of the shit we post and interact with us. Ask us questions, what you're interested in, and keep on keeping on.
bye guys.